Hello guys and welcome back to more World of Tanks. Today I'm bringing you a various amount of replays. We've got the Reaper Scythe in this one, we've got the Leopard that I'm currently grinding, and the Teeth Breaker I believe. Now the new June tank has come out, the collaboration with World of Tanks. I love the films, so I'm quite keen on getting the tank. But I'm a bit obviously short on money at the moment, so I'm waiting. You can do the operations in the game. You get at the end, you get a reduction in price for the tank and the other commanders and things like that. So I'm going to probably wait for that. So obviously, unfortunately, I can't bring you a replay right now of that tank. But the main problem with the tank is the fact that it has the siege mode on. For those who maybe not too familiar with the game, there are a number of tanks that have a siege mode, which means when they go down to a certain amount of speed, it's engaged, which means you have a much better gun depression. Which sounds like a good thing, right? And obviously when you start going above that speed limit, it disengages and you've got less gun depression. Gun depression is quite important in the game, to be honest. It can make a big difference in the game. But unfortunately, Siege Mode has this very unfortunate effect on your tank. And it kind of makes your reticle bounce around and bobble when the siege mode engages and stuff like that, which really kind of puts you off your shot. Because it's when it wobbles, you're like, where am I actually aiming? You know, how likely am I going to hit? So that kind of actually puts you off your shot. And obviously, like a second difference can make all the difference in this game. You know, if you could lose out on a bit of extra damage, you could lose out on a kill because you're waiting for that bubble to disengage, and then someone else takes a shot because they don't have that on their tank. Yeah, so I'm not really sure why Wargame have done this. They make it seem like a good feature. You know, you got such and such amount of degrees of gun depression on siege mode and stuff like that. But anybody that plays this game knows that siege mode makes you have probably a disadvantage. I think the majority of people do think that, and I'm definitely one of them. It puts me off my shot. It makes the tank a little bit more like, why would I play this medium when, you know, I've basically got another medium who doesn't have that bobble to it, the tier 10 Japanese medium's got it. I don't play that tank that much because of the siege mode, and there are, you know, a few premiums. There's an American premium pattern variant that's got it, and it's like, well, there's like 10 different variants of the pattern. Why would I choose the one with the siege mode that makes it difficult to actually hit my target? So, you know, that is a major disappointment, to be honest. I'd be willing to suffer with less gun depression rather than actually have the siege mode in it. Now, the only difference in the siege mode is there is the Swedish TD, which has the same kind of function, but you've got to press a button to engage it. Now, this makes the tank have slightly better armor because of the angle it puts it in. Obviously, got great gun depression and things like that. Makes your shot so accurate, right? It's just great. And it's got it's got such good stealth camouflage that it actually works for it. And when you disengage it, your shots are pretty much impossible to hit, but does mean your tank can go really fast. And it just kind of works for a TD like that. But for mediums, where it actually puts your shot off, because obviously when you're engaging it into a TD, you're not going to be moving. You're not going to be moving your tank around. It makes your tank super slow. But you're going to be you're in a position where you're going, well, I've got good camo. I'm not going to be spotted very easily. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why they've started making these tanks with the siege mode in again, because they stopped doing it for a while because I thought they realised that people don't like it, but apparently not. So yeah, we're in a bit of a annoying spot with that, but there you go. So yeah, disappointed with that. Now, last week I actually played quite a bit because I was doing the season. I've finished the season now, and there was also string theory on. Now, string theory is very good when you're grinding tanks, because basically it gives you +2 to every victory XP for every victory. I'm trying to hit, as you can see, trying to push in here to get. But basically this is to show basically how kind of part of the reason why I was getting very annoyed with string theory. Okay, this is a premium tank, but I was having these kind of games in my tanks I was grinding, right? So we got 3,000 and came top of the team. Rest of the team just kind of let the game slide away there to the caps circle. Super annoying. But yeah, string theory is like it based on wins. So if you get one win, you get +2 XP for your tank. You know, 2 wins is +3, +4, and then +5. +5 is amazing. And obviously, you can't get more than +5. So you know, if you get 10 games in a row, you're still only going to be getting +5 XP, but that's good enough, right? But of course, you got to get there, right? The first day I was grinding, you know, I played for 2-3 hours, and I couldn't hardly get any wins in a row at all. So the string theory is pretty much useless to me, and just annoyed me that much more, because it was just like, well, the whole point of me playing today is to get these XPs, right? And I just can't seem to string more than 2 wins together in a row, and that was a struggle, even getting 2 wins in a row. So I was not getting any XP. I was kind of like, well, I'm wasting my time other than getting the season pass. Second day, it worked a lot better, quite a bit better, but still, it wasn't like super amazing or anything. But it did obviously help me grind out some tanks, a couple of tanks. But yeah, not impressed. And that's the problem with string theory. It all kind of works on if your team's winning, then you're good to go. But if you got some really bad luck, then. And the thing is, obviously, you're grinding tanks, so you'll be going out in tanks not at their top, you know, not their top priority. You know, they're not got the top gun, not got the top engine, that kind of thing. So you're going to struggle to help pull your team to a win, which, yeah. So that doesn't help, right? Obviously, the thing is, you're more likely to get lots of games in a row in a fully equipped tank, but that's not the point of trying to get XP, is it? If you've got a fully trained, fully equipped tank. So that was kind of annoying, but yeah, there's a couple of annoying things that have happened in the game recently. One of the YouTubers I watch for World of Tanks is quit World of Tanks again. Now, they have quit a couple of times, to be fair, but you know, when they say quit, it's usually like just a long gap between him playing again. But I can totally understand why he's done it. He's given reasons like ghost shells are a big thing at the moment. Again, this and hitboxes are a bit random, which I've noticed a fair few ghost shells and these random hitboxes are quite annoying. Basically, I'm hitting, trying to peek a shot through, and it's just not hitting where I want it to because for just some random reason. That's not actually a peeking through between a turret, enemy gun, or dead tank's gun, and even though you're aiming underneath it, it hits the gun anyway. Stuff like that. It's just, come on, you're pumping out these premium tanks. Just put a bit more effort into making the game a fun experience. Probably be my first priority in this game. And he actually showed on the video dummy shells. Basically, he was showing him shooting at the enemy in front of him. His gun, his turret was all in line with this enemy tank. But at the end of the barrel, the shell did a left turn, like didn't go in the direction it was supposed to be going in at all. It was just right. Okay, that was completely dumb. And it's just like, well, okay. That would explain a few things, right? I mean, I've had similar experiences, but I've never watched it back to see what happened. And he also showed like clips of like shells that, like 99% chance should pen the enemy tank, right? It's hitting a medium tank, so it hasn't got any armor anyway, and it's also hitting like the weak spot, but instead of penning, it like bounces off and hits the track. And I was just like, I've had that a few times where that shot should have penned 100% penned, but didn't. So I feel for him. Definitely do. Grinding is making me dislike the game somewhat. When I was playing just the tanks I kind of wanted to play, I was like, I haven't been out in that tank for a long time. I have a lot more fun. But I guess that's kind of the way the game works anyway, right? It just kind of wants you to go, why don't you just put money in there and then you can skip all these really badly stocked tanks. So the Teeth Breaker, it's a tank I'm currently using in this game and the last game. As you can see, last game I'm a tier 9. Didn't have the most amazing game, right? And I got first class. I don't think this tank is particularly amazing. Obviously, it is a fires rapid shots. Each shot doesn't do that much damage, and is quite inaccurate. And it's quite a big vehicle. So although it's a light tank, you kind of got to use it as a medium, really. And you've kind of got to just get lots of shots in to make your damage counter hit those high points. As you can see, I'm struggling right now. Someone is constantly aiming at me. I don't know. Someone seems to have someone seems to have it in for me in this game. I'm honestly just poking up, getting spotted, and instantly someone's staring at me and stays staring at me. Obviously, like I said, I am acting more of a medium here. I'm not really doing too much spotting. I am actually training up a crew on this thing, so it's the crew's I think 4 or 5 skills. So it's not really fully equipped to be the best at spotting right this second. Um, I am. I have been thinking about putting full premium into this gun, just because you can't really have this thing bounce shots. You really don't want that in this thing. So I have loaded premium right this second. We have taken a bit more of an aggressive stance, but obviously that guy, who I'm guessing was one of the one that was kept looking at me, hit me in the backside there. I guess just waiting for me to give him an opportunity to shoot at me. So yeah, I don't know what he has against me, but okay. Uh, um, so we are just going to keep poking. We're going to keep him spotted at this point, because we want to know what he's doing. Is he going to push me at some point? Probably a good chance he will do. And as you can see, we're just getting a heavy tank is pretty much spotting us pretty well here. And as soon as I poke up, I'm getting spotted. As you can see, we've got 500 damage combined. That's not the best for a tier 9. Obviously, like I said, we are a light tank, but we've got to act a bit like a medium. We've got literally no armor in this thing. I mean, if it's top tier, yeah, you might bounce the occasional shot on its turret, that kind of thing. But what we really want to be doing is getting around on the side of someone and unloading the whole clip into the side of someone, so we can make sure most of these shots pen. Even with premium, you might struggle to pen every shot. Like I said, it is quite inaccurate, this gun as well. So you don't want to be just pulling the trigger repeatedly, because you not unless you're up close, because you will hit anything other than getting up, doing anything other than hitting people up close. Some of your shots will miss, and some of your shots will deviate and hit stronger armor and bounce. So you do have to be careful. This is not a high alpha tank. You're going to struggle to get really good amount of damage in the games. But as you can see, we are bouncing even with premium. He's not the most heavily armored tank in the world either. And of course, we're getting looked at. Something blew that guy away, and it was the chieftain again. Now, obviously, the artillery is looking at me for some reason. That's, always good. Artillery to try to hit the fastest tank in the game. I'm not sure why he's doing that. You'll probably go for a more slower tank. As you can see, we are pulled back a bit now, because it is getting a bit close to call. With 8-7, waiting for the chieftain really to get got rid of. We've got some guys pushing up from the 9-0 line. I was kind of hoping they were going to hit that chieftain in the back. I mean, that would be very helpful for your rest of your team, so they can help you. But they're not doing that. I'm pulling back. I want to try to get my vision in and try to spot that chieftain up without getting spotted in return, or that TD at the back there. It's got to be the is it the T30 at the back there? And there he is. Finished him off. Good. Finally. And as you can see, this is not a very competitive tank at all, to be honest. Like I said, I'm having games where I'm getting about 4,000 damage, 3,000 damage, and I'm getting a first class. So I'm not having particularly good games in this thing. Waiting for this guy, seeing if I don't know where he actually is on the map. I'm kind of waiting for him to pop up, and actually he's behind that hill, but he's now poking that hill a little bit. like I said, we want to be hitting people in their weak spots. So the rear and the side of this tank would be awesome and be able to pen a lot of my shots. Um, and just kind of worried that our team is all on that other flank. There's a chance they might come try to um, take cap our base, because like in my the first game I showed you, you know, even if you're winning, we can still lose to cap. That happened, like I said, on string theory. I was like, our team's winning, but then we lose the old lose to cap. It's very, very frustrating when you're trying to string several wins together in a row, and that happens. Obviously, you can't always make your team win, no matter how hard you try. I'm guessing I'm going to be a bit more aggressive now, because I presume that their TD and the other tanks are probably going back to defend the base, because they probably don't want to be capped out either. We are winning by a fair amount now, but our two heavies seem to be very reluctant to move any closer. By the looks of things, they're going very slowly and tentatively. This guy is just going out into the open, not sure why he would do that. He flings a shot at me randomly. I set him on fire. That's one thing that's very good about this thing. Obviously, so many shots going into the enemy. You have a higher chance of setting them on fire, doing module damage and stuff like that. And I've increased that with a crew skill. You can actually do that with a crew skill. Makes you have, I think, 6% higher chance of doing module damage, which is great for these fast firing guns. Because that's really helpful to up your damage if you're going to set people on fire. As you can see, we've still done less than 3,000 damage. Got 3 kills though, as we all know. That helps a lot when it comes to XP. Is taking guys out, and there we go. Got our 4th kill of the game. Just over 3,000 damage. About 3,200, 3,300. And that was high enough to give us a first class. As you can see, obviously using a lot of premium to make this thing competitive does mean you get don't make much silver, and if you have a bad game, you lose quite a bit of silver. But unfortunately, that's just how this tank needs to be used. As you can see, 36 direct hits just to get that amount of damage. I'm actually less than that, because quite a bit of my damage was done because of a fire. But there you go. And we're now in the Leopard 1A3, which is the current Cold War tank I'm grinding. It just like the rest of the line, it's a decent tank. Nothing really stands out about it. You know, it's not. And these guys go crazily just pushing in here. Take him out. Not sure what he was trying to achieve with that. Maybe he was thinking that maybe not many enemy tanks had come this way, and he was just going to take that one guy out in front of us. But it didn't really work out that way for him. We haven't got the most support here, to be fair. We've got 2 heavies, and it looks like there's 2 lights and a TD here. Another light tank's come up, and we're going to try to put a shot into him. And we do. We put the Hesh in, so we get a little bit of extra damage there as well. So, yeah, the Hesh on this tank is quite good. So I have put in a fair amount of the ammo into it, because you're going to come across these light tanks, especially at the moment with the new German light tanks out. There's a lot of people playing them, and there we go. Put a lovely hit into him. I think this is when we're fully upgraded. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get the full amount of damage there, because someone shot him just before I did, but we did get the kill, so we have now got 3 kills. We've got the normal rounds in. Uh, and we are going to probably struggle to see these guys because they're behind behind trees and things. I can't see anybody right now, and but they probably can see us quite well because we've got no trees in front of us right now. And we're spotted. That was probably a bad move. We pull straight down as fast as we can. We don't want to take any missiles, and that is the problem at the moment. Is the ATGMs just non-stop? Um, just come in from these light tanks all the time at the moment. So you've got to be very careful, even when you're not spotted. Shame we missed that one. Uh, managed to, managed to put a shot in, put in the Hesh now, but he's gone out of our view range. But there's another light tank. Don't know where that went though. I think that was going to be pretty dead on, to be honest. Like most Cold War games, clearly, we know who's going to win this match. It's just very one-sided and ends very quickly. Not even that 5-minute mark. Don't know if that missile was aimed at me or the heavy behind, but it looks like it. Obviously, I ducked behind cover before that, so it probably went into the heavy, whether it was aimed at him or not. And we come up behind, and of course we bounce because it's the F411. Yay! And this one, the Russian heavies are hard to pen as well. That's probably one of the only advantages of the Russian heavies at the moment is they're quite good against ATGMs. Unfortunately, it wasn't us putting in that guy on fire. That would have been nice. Yeah, probably unlikely to get any more damage on this guy. But as you can see, we've got just over 4,000 combined with 3 kills. If you did like this video, guys, do give it a like and a subscribe because I'll be bringing you more replays very soon. I'm just in the midst of doing a bunch of recording, and we actually do get him in and we set him on fire and rammed him as well. Unfortunately, didn't get the kill. And he did get a missile onto us, but what does that matter? The game's over. As you can see, we actually got about 5,500 combined. And a first class. Anyway, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.